Stugotz is bumming that he's not here right now because he was dying to just invite Jake the Snake Plumber to tour with him with the Grateful Dead so that he could wander around saying, look at me and Jake Plummer, just a couple of snakes cutting it up. That's all he wanted. That's all he wanted to do with this. But Jake, since your career ended, and I should tell the audience, he was a Pro Bowler in 2005. You have been most associated, I think, in word association with being one of the nation's foremost mushroom advocates. You're here for that, right? You like that this is that you have found something that makes you feel better and that you are one of the foremost advocates for it, right? And thank you for joining us.
Yeah, well, first, thanks for having me on the show again. It's always great to join you guys. My journey's taken me a lot of different ways, but one that was really profound was through the use of nature and natural ways of healing. First with, cannabis, differentiating between CBD and marijuana, advocating, educating on that. I now have another opportunity here through some close friends that are in the know and sent me some tinctures, got me out in the woods looking for, obviously, for organisms, the looking for fungi out in the trees. This has become really an amazing journey just to, again, carry on and try to help people feel better, whatever that means. We're not going to talk about curing anything or eliminating any of your ailments or disease because we can't. There's no studies being done yet, but man, it's sure nice to feel better each day and have more focus, more energy, sleep better at night. And that's what these, wonderful fungi have provided me. So I have to get out there and share this because I know there's a lot of people out there struggling with their health. And I have a whole lot of buddies that are going down that route post-career, physical dysfunction, cognitive decline, and I want to get serious about it. So as we grow with UMBO, we're going to be able to go do some of this serious work and get some of these clinical studies done and figure out if there's a way to reverse some of these trends that really don't give much hope for these guys in the long run.
He's the co-founder of UMBO, and he's an actual mushroom farmer. I'll get into the details of mushroom farming with you in a second, but can you take us, when you tell us about your journey, can you take us through how much football hurt and how much mushrooms or how much you were seeking something that alleviated pain?
Yeah, football was always something I loved to do. I loved playing ball. I mean, recess in grade school, we were playing tackle football. I also played a lot of other sports. I play, even still today, dabble in a lot of different sports, yet I don't put the pads on because I think if I got hit and had to land on my back, I don't think I'd get up from the pain, just that my body, I'm not in daily pain, but just the body doesn't move like that anymore. And I'm okay with that. I've come to accept being 49 at what stage I'm in. I still get around really well. I played a lot of games. I played 14 years straight from ASU, then into the league, starting halfway through my rookie year. Played in a lot of games, and I played through a lot of pain. I played through injuries. I probably should have taken a break and sat down and let it heal. Instead, I pushed through it. I pushed the pain down. I depressed it down to where now I can get up and have a low-grade headache, maybe a little arthritis in my ankle, and I can go about my day and be just fine. Although I'm kidding myself if I'm saying I'm just going to be fine, because there's days that pain wears on me, wears on my nerves. It makes me a little less patient, makes me short, kind of mudgy and grumpy sometimes. And I don't like that. So through my post-career, dealing with those kind of things settling in as I'm not getting the treatment and getting, working out all the time and doing the things that we did as athletes, I started to feel my body. And that's when, nature came in with first Charlotte's Web and CBD, and then the opportunity to start using functional mushrooms. We differentiate between gourmet mushrooms that you can cook and you can eat, functional mushrooms, and then medicinal mushrooms, which I like to say are, the ones that we talk about for psychedelics or hallucinogens. And there's some true healing powers there also, and studies being done at a lot of leading universities around the country to find out what this organism can provide for us in our society that has a lot of mental health issues. But for physical health, I felt like these things really help clear my body of the lingering inflammation, give me that hope of a longer, more vital, but with more vitality, more longevity to carry on down the path as I age, because we all are going to age. It's just whether you do it gracefully or not. So I want to age well and be active long into my 80s, 90s, even hopefully into my hundreds. And this has given me the hope for that.
You are speaking spiritually, organically, holistically, but your mushroom hat says you like to party.
Yeah, this was a gift from my family. My wife and kids gave me this for my birthday. So the good old Amanita, which, was thought of to be a deadly poisonous mushroom, but there are a lot of people that are experimenting, doing their own research with it and finding out that it has a lot of benefits for the human body. So yeah, if this says I like to party, so be it. I'm a fun guy when you get down to it.
Now, I appreciate all the important things that mushrooms are doing for people, all the healing it's doing. But if we're just trying to have fun with some mushrooms, would you say a movie, a concert, or just staring at a tree in your backyard? What's the best thing to do on mushrooms?
Ooh, that's interesting. You're asking someone who holds these organisms with high reverence. So I had dabbled in my past with some psilocybin and gone to a concert, had a great time. Oh my God, the colors, the sounds, all of that. I've also I don't know if I've ever had them and watched a movie. It'd be hard to focus, I think. But I know that there's times when if I do decide to use them nowadays, or if I take a little microdose and go out into the woods, it is fun and it's entertaining, and it's so good for my soul to sit and just like get to know a tree or watch a bug fly around and wonder, like, does that bug have depression, or did it have to get food ready for its kids today? Or it just makes you kind of let go of society's all these limitations and all these expectations, and when you go there, you can kind of just let it go and be who you are, be one with wherever you're at, whatever you're doing. I don't discourage anybody from getting curious and checking these organisms out. As far as the psychedelics are concerned, I just feel like they're so sacred and they're meant for deep healing that I really don't use them that much to just go party with.
Well, your company sells functional mushrooms, not
Yes.
psilocybin. Psilocybin is still illegal. How often are you making the distinction between those two things? Like, do you partake functionally, both functionally and illegally, or what are you doing there? How are you doing the distinctions?
Well, let's be sure, like, people think that we've legalized psilocybin here in Colorado. We just decriminalized it, which means if you have it on your possession, you don't have to fear prosecution. So that's a necessary amount. If you got like 15 pounds of this stuff, you're running around trying to like sell it off, that's a criminal offense still. So, but UMBO Functional Mushroom Company, we are focused on performing and recovering and kind of athletic centric, since me and our other co-founder, Rashad Evans, come from a field of athleticism and training and beating our bodies up. So we know really how well these things work for us. We provide a bar that's really tasty in 2 different flavors. We got a drink that we're just getting out beta testing. That's a hydration drink full of all kinds of goodies with no sugar added, just fruit juice. We have liquid tinctures that are in glycerin with the extracts that some of the mushrooms grown out of Michael Love Farm, my farm out in Fort Lupton. We're extracting them and using them at a really potent level with very good bioavailability. Now, that means it's going to be absorbed into your body. You don't just take a big pill and then it goes through your tract and you end up flushing it down the toilet. This stuff's going to assimilate into your body and work. So getting into this has been a lot of fun. I wanted to have, a really good product that's high standard of integrity behind it and doing it for the right reasons. UMBO is going to grow and become a great company. It already is on track. And I don't want to feel like I'm profiting off of nature. So what we're doing is a study we have coming up with former players here locally, because that's where we got to start, with guys that have heard about it and the guys that I know to test and see if functional mushrooms can help with cognitive decline and physical dysfunction. So we're running some of our own research so that we can get the data to give to give it out to the public to say, hey, this is working. This is what this is doing. This is how this is helping athletes that are going down the rabbit hole of arthritis and looking at the future of possibly having CTE, which some people don't even know how to say what CTE is, chronic traumatic encephalopathy, yet they're scared of it because it's like, that's not a future you want to look forward to. So rather than just feel that, go for your total and permanent disability, get your concussion settlement, which some of these guys need. Granted, they need the money, they need to do it. I want to reverse that trend. I want to strike up a new narrative, flip the status quo and say, hey, here's an option for you if you don't want to be disabled, if you still want to be able to run around and be a badass like we were when we were on the field on Sundays. We can still do that in our lives when we're 60, when we're 70, when we're 80. Let's see what the future holds.
Jake, I'm a functional mushroom user. I take lion's mane. I take turkey tail. Is there something else I should be adding to my mushroom cocktail daily?
I believe really strongly in reishi. Ganoderma lucidum is one strain, but reishi is, man, it's like the Swiss Army knife. It's got so many possibilities. We don't know much about it. We know that it's good for your nervous system. It's a great one to add in the evenings to induce a state of calm, kind of like a warm blanket for your nervous system. But reishi also helped me with my allergies because it has a compound called ganoderic acid that is a natural antihistamine. So we're diving into these things. We know so little here in Western culture. Over in the Eastern medicine, China and Japan, they've been studying these things for a long, long time, for centuries. So we're just getting into this, and we got to get the data back. That's why I'm excited to do this research. But reishi is one of my favorites. I think it's just so good for what we deal with day to day, the amount of stress we put ourselves under. Our lives are busy, busy, busy. And reishi has a way to just kind of like take a big deep breath and just relax. And you don't feel high. You're not like, cannabis can do that too, but then you're high. And maybe you don't want to feel high. So not everybody wants to get high and ripped up every night. But maybe you want to have that same calmative effect, and reishi does a really good job of that.
Are you someone who has read a great deal about Timothy Leary?
I've read a few works by Timothy Leary. Yeah, I mean, what an amazing human.
I'm just curious where you come about, being someone who has decided to go counterculture, right? Because I don't know how well any of this was received in the conservative environment you came up in football.
It's still not really well received by, going to owners or the guys way up top. But when you talk to the nutritionists on these teams, the players are wanting it. Players want a natural way to feel more energy. That's why we introduced them to cordyceps mushrooms. The 1993 Chinese women's track team, they were training and they went and broke a bunch of world records, and they got accused of using steroids. And their coach said, no, we've just been using cordyceps. It comes from the Himalayas. It's caterpillar fungus, Himalayan Viagra, whatever you want to call it. It comes by all these names, but it increases blood flow and VO2 max. So when you speak to the language of these nutritionists and they have players that are wondering how they can have more energy, how they can sleep and recover better at night, they don't want to take Ambien and go to sleep. They know the side effects. They've seen and heard and probably had relatives that have either had extreme illnesses caused by some of these pharmaceuticals, and or themselves have dealt with the side effects. So those are the guys that once you get them seeking this, then we want to be able to provide it in a good way, but with someone they can trust, because not all the products out there are created equally.
420 is this weekend. Do you celebrate? Does the mushroom community celebrate?
I mean, we're in celebration every day, just to be alive, to wake up, take a breath, and see what the day holds. I mean, we celebrate every day because when you're in it so much so that you realize that you can't control anything at all except the way you react to what is put in front of you, then you start to really enjoy all those moments, and even the tough moments. They come and go, and you learn from them. So 420 out here in Colorado is huge. It's a big deal because this is one of the first states to legalize marijuana. So there'll be a lot of people out partying and doing their thing. I've gotten to a point where, something like cannabis is used occasionally. I love to have a hit and go play handball or go play pickleball. It feels good for my body. It lets my mind go, okay, I got nothing to do today but chase around a little ball and have fun and laugh and enjoy myself. But when I use it, other than that, it's kind of like, I want to do it with some reverence and have something sacred behind it rather than just, let's get high and see what's up. So I like to party. I like to have fun, but I enjoy also being just sober and in the moment and really enjoying what I got going on in my life, because everything just keeps coming to me, and it's just been a great journey so far, realizing really what I'm here for, to bring this knowledge, to be a conduit of this ancient knowledge, to bring it to the people, to bring it to the ones that are curious and wanting to feel better and take their health back into their own hands.
In the same vein of trying to help people and give people advice when it comes to mushrooms, I would recommend seeing O by Cirque du Soleil on a lot of mushrooms, because it was life-altering for me.
Hey, that's you can go see something like that you wonder, like, how did they create that? And you think, were they just that creative, or were they tripping balls when they made that? Like, were they tripping when they created that show? Maybe so. Or maybe they had a journey in the medicine and it opened their mind up to not have any limitations on art and creativity. And there's real beauty in nature. Everything we are comes from nature, and we're going to go back to that. And so when you're using natural products and you're enjoying them and having intention behind them, you're opening yourself up for a lot of good times. And that may be going to Cirque du Soleil with a little bit of psilocybin and letting those colors even penetrate you even deeper than you thought they could.
Hell yeah.
Put it on the poll, please, Juju, at LeBatard Show, were the people who had the thought to do O at Cirque du Soleil tripping balls.
We actually have a question from Stugotz, our co-host, who is not here, in the most lazy way in the most lazy way possible. He texted a question. So he said, "I wanted to invite Jake to a Dead and Company show at the Sphere." He wrote Fear. He meant the Sphere. At the Sphere in Las Vegas. I'll bring the tickets. He brings the mushrooms. Couple of snakes cutting it up.
Oh man, I am down. I'm definitely down. But I have only one request: that we're not trapped in a bubble on the planet Earth. Instead, maybe we could go to an outdoor concert somewhere where we could actually breathe fresh air and see a bird fly
So Red
by.
Rocks.
No to the Sphere. No.
Red Rocks.
Yeah. Okay.
What about Fear?
Fear?
Yeah.
Fear is a crazy thing, man. Yeah, we could go deep there. There's a lot of fear in the world. I try not to fear things, because where there's fear, there's danger. And, you got to have tap back into your heart and your intuition. If you're feeling something, honor that. Sometimes fear is good. Time to run. And someone asked me yesterday when I was talking with the guys at All the Smoke, we were talking about, why were you were fast, man. You were out there running. You were quick. And what was that? Were you always super quick and fast? I said, no, that was fear. I was scared shitless those guys were going to get me, man. I was just trying to run away from them as quick as I could. So yeah, fear has its positives too. Check
out Jake Plummer's mushrooms at getumbo.com. It's UMMBO. M as in Mary, M as in Mary. UMMBO.com. Thank you, Jake. Appreciate the time.
Hey, thank you, guys. Always great to come share. Appreciate the opportunity, and you all keep up the good work out there.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Peace, love, and mushrooms.